All right, so this is going to be a special comic review. This is one that was not sent to me by Chris or one I got. I stumbled upon a content creator looking for I hate the word influencer. Anyone who would be willing to do a review of their independent book. I stumbled across one of their videos on social media. I got in touch with the writer Keith Foster, and I was like, "Hey, I'll help. I like helping. I've never done this before, if I'm being honest. I had never openly reached out to a comic creator. So we're going to be doing a review of Space Minotaur. Also, what's kind of interesting is that this comic, um, basically, I wasn't sent a physical copy. It was online, so I'm kind of using my phone, which I don't know if that's going to turn out well. But Space Minotaur um, is basically a comic series. It's a one-shot comic written by, like I said, Keith Foster, who most of you guys would know best if you're a indie kaiju lover of Atomic Rex and Draco Azul. You probably know Foster's other work being Kadoja. Um, I forgot about that. I forgot Keith had made that, and then I was like, oh wait, why does that name sound so familiar? I was like, oh, it's Kadoja. This guy who created Kadoja. So Space Minotaur tells the story of the Minotaur, like the actual Greek god, the Minotaur. And basically, the book is two separate stories for this one shot. One that is set in 2100 something, and the other set in the 1970s. So in story A, Space Minotaur and his robot drone are going to a planet to carry out a mission. It's pretty fun. It's kind of a fun space opera. I also like the fact that whenever the Minotaur swears, it's in Greek, and they actually do make a lot of references to like the Minotaur's backstory. Like in the other story, he basically mentions that there's an actor who was just being a jerk to him. He's like, "I used to eat people for doing that to me," and the kid acts like, "What? Nothing." So the Minotaur himself has a lot of character. He has a lot of fun character to him. We don't know much about his backstory of how he's able to survive this long, as well as did Theseus actually decapitate him or at least wound him? I think that's going to be a bigger story if this goes to be an ongoing at some point. I think those will be explained later. But the first story is pretty fun. It's got some fun. It's basically like a Star Wars-esque story. I personally like the second story set in the 1970s, which is more of a tokusatsu type story where the Minotaur plays a stunt actor in a faux Ultraman or Red Man type of show that is he basically it's a Minotaur called Boltiful or something. I can't pronounce it. But more or less, the actor comes does the pose and turns into it. But then they go cut, bring in the double, and it's the Minotaur dressed in this dumb looking costume. But then it turns out, oh wait, the actress who plays the love interest in the show is actually a director of a secret organization, and they fight this woman called Lady Tomb. So, and they've incorporated the Minotaur to work as a secret agent for them. Everybody got that? I will admit that this book, both stories go really fast, which again it adds to the whole thing of this feels more like a pilot to an ongoing, and just is more of Foster and the artist Roy. The two of them. This is a proof. This feels more like a proof of concept than anything else, and in one way, I get it. In one way, it's for this one shot, it's a proof of concept that this isn't Kadoja or Foster's other work upcoming, Witchfinder of Norway. Foster has done more horror books or more adult flavored books, so I can see why he's trying to take a stab at doing something a little more fun. But again, for a one shot, it's more of like a proof of concept slash pilot for what they want to do with with the comic, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Um, I do think that would have serviced a little bit more personally. Is that maybe you just stick with um, one of the two ideas and roll with it, rather than just do the future and the 1970s story. Like pick a lane and follow it. But I'm not the guy who wrote the comic, and maybe if this comic does become an ongoing, um, maybe it'll like make more sense. You know what I mean? But yeah. So Space Minotaur, do I recommend it? Yeah. For an indie book, it's pretty fun. It's nothing too like it, we're not talking Watchmen here, people. We are well past not talking about Watchmen. Um, but I do think it's a fun story. And I'm always a sucker for tokusatsu storytelling, and you mix it with Greek mythology and make the Minotaur, one of my favorite Greek monsters, the hero of the comic. Hell yeah, I'm in. So yeah. Now, real quick before I go, I do want to mention that I had a bit of an oopsie on my part. I forgot to ask Keith for a link to Invader Comics, so you can pre-order the book because I think the book isn't out yet. Um, so that's on me. So I will get the link and leave it in the description box or in the comments section so you guys can go and order the book yourself. So I want to thank Keith Foster for sending me this book. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this comic review. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.